All right, everybody, welcome back to Versus Live. My name is Corey Baumeister.
And I'm Ross Merriam.
All right, and we got Dan the Man with the plan in the booth taking all your questions. Feel free to tag at Star City Games to get those questions. Dan, say hello. He's really, really exhausted.
I am so exhausted.
You called him Dan the Man with the plan.
Yes.
I was gonna call him Dan the Man in the van down by the river.
Wow. You got a van down?
I have a van, but I don't live by a river.
The Roanoke River is why this city is named Roanoke.
Okay.
We all live by a river.
But
we all live by the star, though, too.
This
is the Star City.
I think we're talking about like living like exactly next to the river, like adjacent
Like
to
on the Greenway. Yeah, only Ricky and Sarah live on the river.
In that case, I am
high
very
sought after
landlocked,
property,
Ross.
right?
It is.
You want to live by the Greenway, Dan. You want to. All right,
Nice.
Don't forget, we are brought to you by Carnock's Chair. If you want to pick up one of these bad boys and be as comfortable as Ross is right now, maybe not Dan. Dan's still got that nail stool. We really need to treat him better here, but
that might be contributing to his mood.
It really might be. I would think so. But if you want one of these chairs, head over to carnox.com/SCG. Get yourself 10% off and be just as cool as we are.
Yeah, but not nearly as cool as Dan is in his nail stool.
I just need some sleep.
All right, everybody, we are continuing our journey through Pioneer here, checking out all the invitational decks that we really liked and that had success. It was the talk of the tournament from the beginning.
Yep.
You know, everybody's got a constant watch on what Lotus Box is doing because, you know, sometimes they just hit absolute home runs. And this deck I really think was great. My brother ended up playing. He went 7-1 with it. He said it was just fantastic. I decided to just go with Mono Green Devotion because that's under my limited testing what I had the chance to do the most winning with. And I still think that deck's insanely powerful, you know. Todd told me just play that deck. You'll win. He was right.
He XO'd the Swiss of another PTQ.
Did he?
Yeah.
He lost in the finals again, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, I heard that he actually just, you know, threw the finals match just so you would feel a little bit better about your near miss.
He did not. He mulliganed 5.
Oh,
It was rough.
brutal.
But I did appreciate the self dagger and solidarity.
Yeah, and that's why I did so bad in Modern. You know, I really just wanted to take one for the team here, and and I definitely did that.
This is it's a very interesting take. I think Todd worked a little bit on trying to incorporate Hardened scales into a devotion list.
Sure.
I don't think he quite got to a build like this. I think the interesting card really is Voracious Hydra.
Yep.
We always think of it as a card that's you're generally picking the fight mode, but this is a deck that really takes advantage of the double counters mode. You know, if you just have a Hardened scales, and then I don't know, they turn 2 you like trade resources, you don't add anything else to the battlefield. Turn 3 you play a Voracious Hydra for 1. You know, it comes in with 2 because of the Hardened scales. You choose to double, it's going to go to add 2. Instead it adds 3.
Yeah.
You got a 3-mana 5/6.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good rate.
It's insane.
And and it scales a lot higher from there. So
no pun intended.
Yeah, for not very much mana. So a very important card in the deck. Vivian Arcbow Ranger works really well in the deck.
Yeah.
We're not really seeing the super go over the top aspect. There's no Nykthos. So it's really just taking a lot of the cards from the Green Devotion deck, but implementing them into another strategy. And it goes to show you just how powerful these cards are. Vivian Arcbow Ranger, Walking Ballista, and Voracious Hydra, that they also fit into this other strategy. A little bit more aggressive. I like that. I think this deck makes really good use of Walking Ballista, which is an incredibly powerful card, and then it has some draws where it just runs you over.
And then I think the most important part about this Hardened Scales list is the fact that it's not just a mono green sideboard. The mono green sideboard, the mono green devotion sideboard is heinous. It's so bad. Like, I mean, you're just forced to play like Hunt the Hunter as your way to deal with, as your like source of removal for other green based decks.
Yeah.
And you know, that's not great, but when you're playing black, you have access to Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, you know, these premium
Abrupt
black
Decay.
cards, Abrupt Decay, yes. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, still this Hardened Scales deck on the draw against a Green Devotion deck, you're disadvantaged. So it's not like you're gaining that much because the play is that important, but you're able to have some very powerful sideboard cards like Noxious Grass and Fatal Push to kind of break serve there. And that's what I like the most about this deck.
Help out in plenty of other matchups. You know, Thoughtseize against Supreme Verdict decks is really nice. I'm sure Green Devotion would love to have that kind of effect.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I do agree. I think this deck is quite good. I'm going to be playing Izzet Phoenix. We've continuously mentioned this as a deck that has seemed very weak to us, but
Yeah.
people keep playing it. People keep winning with it. This is from the 7-1 batch of deck list. This is Lucas Cruz playing 3 copies of Merfolk's Secret Keeper.
Ooh.
So going really hard at trying to hit those early Phoenixes, which, it's an underpowered card.
Yeah.
But I kind of like it because I think the deck is not that great at finding a ton of Phoenixes, and so that makes it more dependent on Thing in the Ice.
Yeah.
That's a problem. If you have some of these, turn 3, turn 4 double Phoenix draws, that's a draw that can win games when coupled with the deck's good removal.
Do you think Lucas Cruz only played this deck because of Treasure Cruise being his last name?
Maybe. I don't know. But the Secret Keeper does also fuel the Delve spells.
Yeah.
We're playing 4 Treasure Cruise as well as 1 Dig Through Time. So a 5th Delve spell enabled by, these weak, somewhat weak cards. And then the other thing, if it's enabling your Phoenix draws, you're racing in the air. That 0-4 body is going to be relevant.
Yeah.
It'll block a Scrap Heap Scrounger on the ground. It'll chump block an Ensouled, Bomet Courier or something like that. Block a Nissaland and buy you the time you need to win that race in the air. So
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how good the card is. Normally not a card I would be a fan of, but you need more 1-mana spells, and this one works really well with your most powerful cards. It really brings out the power of Treasure Cruise and Arclight Phoenix.
Yeah, and I think that was the big trouble that we were running into is you have to spend your whole turn just trying to get some of these key cards into your graveyard. But turn 1, they never really had a great play besides Opt, but I really like the inclusion of that. It makes a lot of sense to me.
Okay, I am going to be on the play here.
Okay.
And I will keep my hand. How about you?
This hand is not great. Let's see here. It's okay, and we have the upside of it being really busted with a couple of friendly draws. We're going to risk it and keep it. If we're supposed to mulligan these hands, I just don't know what the deck's supposed to do. So.
Okay, well, I'm going to shock to 18 and pass.
And pass?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so I think I would like to avoid getting an elf destroyed, so we're going to go with the Hardened Scales here.
Sure. And I will now play a Thing in the Ice.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right, a solid draw here. Now we're going to just play a Llanowar and pass to you.
Okay. Shivan Reef.
Okay.
Thing in the Ice.
Okay.
Wild / Llanowar Elves.
Had to
trigger my
expect
things.
that.
Pass the turn.
All right. Not a bad draw here. We're going to go with a Hardened Scales and a Ballista for 1, which will be 3. Your turn.
Okay. I will play an Izzet Charm Delete.
Okay.
These go to 2.
Okay. Am I dead?
That's a tilt. I guess I have to discard this one. So let's this second Izzet Charm is not doing a whole lot. So we'll discard these along with the Fiery Temper, and I'll pay life to temper the Ballista.
All right, 3 to you.
1.
We are dead.
So I'm at I go to 17 from the ping and then 14 from the Ballista.
Okay.
And unfortunately did not hit land 4, so I will pass the turn.
I just don't think there's a possible way I can deal with these things.
A Voracious Hydra here would be able to fight a thing if you have land with it. That's what I was sort of expecting here.
Nope. We did not. We did not have that.
4 or 5 Voracious Hydra would go a long way.
Yeah, I just don't think there's anything we can do here. We can play our Planeswalker here. It just dies to one of these things. So I'm just going to go with the Elvish Mystic and say go.
Yeah, that one's not good.
That's not good, yeah.
That one's no bueno.
No bueno indeed.
Okay.
But, I kept a hand with Hardened Scales and not having, a ton to do with it except having this Vivian in my hand. And I just didn't draw enough of the payoffs to make it really good.
Okay, I will mill myself for 4 and bounce that elf. We'll go on an adventure.
All right.
Apparently a deep adventure.
Yeah.
Adventuring deeper. Okay. Let's cruise.
All right.
That's 7.
Yeah, Merfolk's Secret Keeper seems awesome in this deck, I have to say. Just more 1-mana spells to flip, or to bring back Arclight Phoenix and flip Thing in the Ice as well.
Do I want to waste a Lightning Axe to return a Phoenix? Doesn't seem like it. Attack you for 14.
All right, I'll take it. Down to 6.
You can go. Needed to hit a land a chart to get that Phoenix in.
Well, I know you have a Lightning Axe now, I guess, but yeah, nothing I could do anyways.
Yeah,
A third Hardened Scales.
Well, the one thing we've said about this deck is that if you have early Thing in the Ices that go unanswered, your deck is good.
Exactly.
And that is what happened here.
And I mean, the Scales deck doesn't really have great answers outside of Voracious Hydra to deal with it. Like, getting Ballista to 4 counters to deal with 1 is reasonable, but when you have 2, it seems really tough.
Yeah. 2, you gotta then start doing... 2, then you can sort of race the first one if you kill... Or race the second one if you kill the first one.
Yeah.
If you have a pretty good draw there, you just had a very Scales-heavy draw.
Yep.
And just didn't do a whole lot with it. Had the 1 payoff in Ballista, the answer, and that was all she wrote.
Yep, 100%. Okay, Dan, you got a question for us while we shuffle up for our second game?
I do. So, some of these names these guys come up with, they're awesome. Boom Chicken Nuggets. Just boom. Chicken
Love
nuggets.
it. Boom.
Wants to know if
I hope they were eating chicken nuggets while they made that.
Oh, that would be so cool. So, Boom Chicken Nuggets asks, what do you think of contingency plan for Izzet Phoenix instead?
This is a 2-mana.
Draw a card, proliferate?
No. So
No, we don't want to add counters to our thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so contingency plan is 1 in the blue for a sorcery.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up here for everyone in the
Look at the top 5, can put any amount in your graveyard and the rest on the top in any order.
Boom.
Yeah, it's just Tygam scheming. That's what I thought it was. So my issue with that card is that it costs 2 mana.
Yeah.
And I don't want to invest 2 mana into that weak of an effect.
Yeah. Venture Deeper just seems like it kind of does the same thing, except it costs 1.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can set up your next draw with that one.
Yeah.
But, that isn't worth as much to me as just being 1 mana.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Especially with Arclight Phoenix, if you want to be recurring them early, you just need cheap spells.
And it doesn't cantrip, right? It just sets it. You can set it on top. Yeah, I think not cantripping is a big problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool idea though.
Yeah. So in that same vein, Craig H.A. asks, why don't we run Baral in this?
We tried it, right? We tried Brawl.
My original list, I think, had some Brawls. There are actually not that many spells that get helped out by it because you play Izzet Charm in the 2-mana slot.
Yeah.
And you play a lot of 1 blue or 1 red cards.
But you do have to play some more 2s. You have 4 charts, 2 strategic planning. If you want to hardcast Fiery Temper, that'll help, but you don't really want to be doing that.
No.
So there's just not a lot of spells that get helped out by it.
Yeah.
And you don't want to play a bunch of those spells to try to make Baral better, because then you become super dependent on Baral living.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of answers to Baral, Fatal Pushes around, Lightning Bolt effects. So
and drawing Brawl late, when you just need that third spell, it's like, tilt, so.
So I think if Izzet Charm were not one of the better options for looting effects, and I know Ryan Overturf, who's still a huge proponent of this deck.
Yep.
I was talking with him before the Invitational, and he said one of the reasons that he thinks the deck is still good, and one of the things that he is doing that other people aren't, is really hinging on the power of Izzet Charm.
Okay.
And he's found that card to be really impressive in the format, which is surprising because it's so horrible in every other format it's ever been in.
Yeah, it really has been.
So, but he's been really, really happy with it. Which kind of makes sense. People are playing 4 and 5 mana planeswalkers in these green decks. It can kill an early elf, and then it still does the looting effect that you want it to do. So if that weren't in the deck and it were some other, you were at 4 strategic planning and some other effects that Brawl would help, maybe you could see it in a couple numbers.
Sure,
it'll be over Secret Keeper, but no, as the way the deck's constructed now, not a fan.
Not a big fan either. All right, great questions. Keep them coming in from Dan here, but I really want to play this hand. I'm keeping. This hand is a beaut. Just a beaut, right, Dan?
Totally.
On the draw, I think this hand is going to fall too far behind. Being forced to opt for a second land, obviously I have to hit, but even if I do, my turn 2 is probably going to have to be wasted using a removal spell and wasting a mana. I'm always just going to be behind on mana. So I'm going to mulligan that one.
Alrighty. Well, Dan, let's see if we get another question from you.
All right. From C Santos 09, why elves instead of Experiment 1 and Pelt Collector?
I think mainly for Voracious Hydra. Like, I think it's a lot more important to be able to ramp into that. Or turn 2 Nissa is really important as well. I just think Elf is a little bit better here. In the, if you're not playing any of the ramp stuff, Experiment on Frenzy or Experiment 1 and Pelt Collector are okay. But I just think Elves are a lot stronger.
Yeah, compared to that list, this deck has a significantly higher curve. Not only, you mentioned Voracious Hydra, there's also 4-mana Vivian, Arcbow Ranger.
Yep.
And that's a card that lets you get value out of your elves. You can pump those with a scale out, now you got a 4/4 elf, and that's perfectly fine. So, you have this card that lets you get onto the battlefield quickly, which is what these scales decks want to be doing.
Yep.
And so they actually facilitate the plan quite well, just with the additional tempo gain, and you have plenty of ways to make use of them. You can sink the extra mana late into your X cards because you still have Ballista as well.
Yep.
Or you can pump them with a Vivian. And go that route. So I'm a pretty big fan of them in this deck. And by using the elves, you also get to play a lot of the other powerful cards in the Green Devotion Shell, or a lot of them. And you end up with a deck that's just generally more powerful than the scales, the traditional scales list. And that means you have a deck that is a little bit less dependent on assembling the scale synergies, but it's still very good if you do.
Exactly.
So you raise your floor by doing it this way. Even if your ceiling is a little bit lower, it's not that much lower, but your floor is raised by a significantly higher margin.
Yep. And I mean, you have Serpent that you're ramping into and stuff.
Yeah,
Casting that for extra is great. Voracious Hydra. Like, you just have more X spells than the original Hardened Scales decks had. So you just have more ways to sink your mana into it.
Okay, second and first mulligan. Better one here.
Better?
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh. This is worse than the first one, but we're on 6, so I guess I keep it.
Alrighty. So we are going to start with that Llanowar, and in here, if this was Pelt Collector, I think it would be perfectly fine, but I think it is a lot better as a Llanowar, just with this hand specifically.
And we'll go to 18, and I will venture deeper.
All right. Target me?
No, we will be targeting me.
Whoa.
We hit an Arclight Phoenix, so that's pretty cool.
All right.
You're up.
Okay. Now we are going to take 2, and we're going to go a couple scale effects. Your turn.
Both at 18.
Yep. Snake.
And you see this elf now. We have multiple scale effects down still. Without this elf, you'd probably have just curved Pelt Collector into this and have a 3/3.
An attack for 3. That would have been pretty good too, though.
Yeah, you're just going to do more powerful things. Now, if you have a Voracious Hydra, this thing, the ice is going to look bad.
Yep.
You're up.
All right. Well, I don't have that.
That's good.
All right. Let's attack.
You have a Walking Ballista.
What does that card do?
Now, if you play Walking Ballista here, you play it for 1, you have 2 scale effects, it'll be a 3, and you effectively just trade it for Thing in the Ice, which I think is something you're going to be able to do later, regardless. And so I will block Llanowar Elves.
All right, take 2.
16.
Go to 16. You are right. I do have a Walking Ballista, but I do have an extra scales. So this will be a 4. And then I can remove the counters to trade here, or to just kill that. Pass to you.
Gross.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad at all. So we have to deal with this Walking Ballista, and we have an Izzet Charm to do that.
Okay, 1 to you.
I'm at 15.
And now we are, in a little bit of trouble. That was kind of our big hurrah. But we have so many good draws. Done, right?
Yep.
All right, that's one of them. All right, so we're going to take 2.
You're at 16.
We're going to just Voracious Hydra for 3. So that goes to 6. And then double it goes to 12,
9 more.
13, 14, 15. So it's a 15, 16? Is that right?
Yep.
Wow. Okay, attack for 2.
I'm at 13.
Your turn. Just a 15, 16. Turn 4. Pelt Collector would have got pumped by that, I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay.
You have me at 13.
13, yep.
Strategic planning.
Okay. It's better be one strategic meeting you got coming down
Oh,
here.
wait, I have this 04.
Yep.
Hold on. I think that's better then. Because this can block for a turn.
Okay. No, this does have trample, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm at 13, so this would deal 11. And then this thing the ice blocks here, that's 12. That would put me to 1.
Okay.
And that might give me the time I need to transform
flip
this
it?
thing.
Okay.
So
Reasonable.
let's do it that way and pass the turn.
All right. Let's get one good draw here. Close.
You already
this
got
game
one
out.
good draw.
All right, I'll attack.
I'll make the block that puts me to 1.
Okay. All right. Your turn. We didn't have a good enough draw. I suppose we play this.
Yeah. Okay.
Here we go.
And you're at 16?
Yep. This would be an impressive game to win.
Yeah, this is in the graveyard, I guess. That's much better.
Someone's cruising.
I'm definitely cruising this turn, but this is 2, 4, 6. I want it to cost 1. The unfortunate part is that means I need to draw a lot of 1-mana spells because I
Okay.
have to strategic planning to start. So then we're gonna hopefully make 1 land drop and then play 3 1-mana spells.
All right. How many 1 spells you got in your hand? Just 1?
Well, I have none, and we hit 3 lands, so
Okay. Off to a good start.
it's cruise.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Might as well just flip them. Uh-oh.
Is that's not enough, right?
Maybe.
No.
Nope.
So
So you already played a land, right?
yeah, I already played
Yeah.
a land, so
Wild Slash.
I'm one
2
short.
cards short in the graveyard.
Well, 3 really. Or
Yeah.
no, 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. 2 cards short in the yard. If I had 1 more mana, I could planning into another cruise.
But you don't. All right. All right.
And that's why we play lots of 1-mana spells.
No kidding. Ooh. That we needed that the turn before to
Yeah.
close it out.
You know, if I had made that happen and attacked you to 6, like what? You know, I'm at 1, so you probably just go.
I'd have to go just like a giant voracious hydra just to block. More than likely,
yeah.
it wouldn't have been big enough to kill thing in the ice. Yeah.
Yeah, you would. So you played. You have 5 lands. So you played as a 3/3. It enters at a 5/5. It doubles up to 5 plus another 2. So you're at 12.
Yep.
And then you have 12 back. I need to find more blockers then, or another Phoenix.
Yeah.
I have 1 turn where I can find another Phoenix to kill you. Because
But I mean, you would have had chances, and I had a great draw. My opener was just like Llanowar Elves, double scales, Winding Constrictor, 2 land and a Ballista. I'm like, oh god.
yeah, and I'm all going to do a 1-lander.
Yeah. And you still had a chance.
I made 5.
Maybe-
I made 4 land drops in a row.
Maybe we got to give Izzet Phoenix a better chance here. But I do think Izzet Phoenix does prey on Llanowar Elf decks. And that had to have been the biggest or the most amount of matchups. Like Green Devotion and Scales.
Honestly, if I don't block that Llanowar Elves with my 04 thing, and you're forced to spend your entire ballista killing it,
Yeah.
like
I mean, I definitely wouldn't have. But,
yeah, you just play a 4/4 ballista and say like.
and then next turn I'll pump it and then kill it. Unless you could have flipped it.
But then I get to, if you do that, I just play, I guess I can't play second thing because your activation adds 4 counters.
Yeah, and you fiery tempered the Ballista, so maybe it would have just been better to keep it as a 4/4, because then how do you deal with Ballista? But
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that game would have played out had I not blocked, because I thought like maybe I'd be able to play the second thing a turn earlier and would have had 1 more counter off of it.
yeah,
But you would have been able to kill both if I didn't kill the Ballista. So I don't know. Interesting game. So I guess we're 1-1 again.
1-1
Which means
again.
we got to do some sideboarding.
Having some
finish
good
this
close
match.
matches.
Yeah. So we're going to take a short break, get some sideboarding set up between Izzet Phoenix and Hardened Scales. Don't go anywhere. And we are back here at Versus Live sideboarding and our matchup between Izzet Phoenix and Hardened Scales.
Oh, yeah.
On my side, we got a couple of braids. This card is going to deal with Walking Ballista, Stone Coil Serpent, and Winding Constrictor. I think that is enough targets and enough versatility to make it worthwhile. Aether Gust is obviously great. It can even target Hardened Scales, target Planeswalkers. It can really tempo out a big Voracious Hydra as well.
Yep.
So that's a nice one. And then Glorybringer gives us a little bit more interaction and increases our threat density. You got to assume some answers for Thing in the Ice are coming in, so I can't rely on that card as much as I did in game 1. So we have some other nice threats here. Because I'm bringing in a bunch of 2-mana spells, I want to cut other 2-mana spells and preserve my curve as much as possible.
Okay.
I do think Izzet Charm is more important to the function of the deck than strategic planning because it gets, Fiery Temper madness. It enables Arclight Phoenixes from your hand.
Just kills an elf, too.
Yeah, sometimes kills an elf. So we're leaving in a couple charms, cutting both plannings. Because the plannings are coming out, we are trimming one of our Delve spells. Dig Through Time is worse than Cruise here because Cruise can cost 1.
Yep.
And then I'm trimming 1 Secret Keeper. Games get a little bit grindier. My fast draws aren't going to be as reliable at actually, winning the game.
Yeah.
So we can trim down 1 there.
Okay, sounds smart to me. I'm taking Vivian Arcbow Ranger out because I just expect Ross to be trying to kill all my creatures, and I don't want to just have a situation where I go creature, and the only thing left in my hand is Vivian, and I just don't have anything to put counters on. Of course, it is a very powerful effect, and sometimes you can even kill Thing in the Ice, so on the play, I would probably reconsider leaving in more of them. And then I'm taking out 2 Stone Coil Serpents just because in general, I just think it's the weakest card in the deck, but it's still very powerful for game 1. And I just want to bring in a little bit more disruption here. On the draw, I'm bringing in 2 Thoughtseize. On the play, I would likely switch these back for Vivian just to be more proactive. Here, I want to be reactive against your Thing in the Ice or against your big turn where you're going to Treasure Cruise me. Scavenging Ooze is obviously very good at eating Arclight Phoenixes, and then Fatal Push to deal with the Thing in the Ice.
And, don't underestimate Scavenging Ooze just being able to keep me off my Delve cards.
Exactly.
I think a lot of people ignore that, you can exile non-creatures. They think it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
You should just be using your extra mana.
Oh, yeah. And that's why I played 3 main deck in Green Devotion, and it's just insane there. I mean, you generate so much more mana with that deck, and if you ever just eat your entire graveyard, that's rough,
I was watching Todd do it in the PTQ against a Jeskai Ascendancy deck.
Yep.
That plays Dig Through Time, and he was eating their graveyard at every opportunity.
Yep.
It took them 6 extra turns to try to
play it.
To cast their
hard
dig.
cast it for 8, huh?
They eventually got to cast it for 5 as Todd was using his mana on other things.
Sure,
to kill
sure.
Him, but that didn't go so well.
I love it. Okay, well, we're going to get ready for game 3. Dan, do you have any questions?
So I actually have a message back from our good friend Boom Chicken Nuggets.
All right.
So the reason why Boom brought up contingency plan is that they use it to feed Treasure Cruise.
Okay.
I was just like, it seems nice, but I think just with what we've described earlier, there are a few other cards that can do it a lot.
Yeah, I think Venture Deeper, it's 1 card less, but you also get a body with it and stuff like that. So I really like that. But yeah, feeding Treasure Cruise is a big problem we ran into why we thought Izzet Phoenix was not that great. So anything to help that is definitely along the lines of the right direction you want to be taking, for sure. So
a wacky scrub like me just still sidelined by the fact that use Merfolk's Secret Keeper to target myself and not my opponent, but
wait, what?
But
This isn't Throne Drafts.
I'm still so good with those.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, how's your hand?
It is very interactive, and we have some ways to dig towards a threat, so I think this is a keep.
Well, our hand isn't amazing, but we do have a card that makes it a little better, so we're going to keep it.
Okay, I'll go to 18.
Okay.
You're up.
All right, so likely a removal spell or an opt. All right, so we're going to start with a Once Upon a Time. 3, 4, 5. Okay, we will try to feed into that removal spell and play a Llanowar.
I will Wild Slash it.
All right. Your turn. We didn't have any. I would have tried to play around that, but we didn't really have any other great options besides a land with that Once Upon a Time anyways, so.
I will shock to 16. You're up.
All right. Now, let's see here. I don't really want to play. If we take a peek at my hand real quick, I don't really want to play any of this stuff right now. So I think we are just going to play a land and say go.
On your end step, I will opt.
Okay.
I will bottom that.
Okay.
Don't think it's high enough impact at this point.
Playing this slow and steady. Games do tend to slow down in the post-board games here.
Yep.
It's just you're trying to kill everything, and I'm trying to actually react to you a little bit.
Venture deeper.
All right.
We hit a Phoenix.
Okay.
Unfortunately, do not have 2 more 1-mana spells, but I will pass the turn.
Okay. End step once upon a time.
Yep. Wait, hold on.
Well, that can be Izzet charmed.
That it can be.
Yeah.
I don't really have a lot going on. I'm going to try it.
It's countered.
I take a point for that. I'm at 15.
All right. I will untap, draw. That's a pretty spicy draw.
You're at 18?
Yep. I think Ross might regret that play. Playing this up. And make a plan. And pass to you, Jeremy Knoll, getting some camera time. Boink.
Ether Gust the Nissa.
Okay. We'll take action.
Treasure Cruise for 1, leaving the Phoenix.
Seems good. Seems real good. Is that Phoenix coming back?
Take a point on Wild Slash the Plant.
Aw, my plan.
I'm at 14.
Okay.
Bring back the Phoenix and attack for 3.
All right.
You're at 15.
Yep.
You can go.
Pretty solid turn. All right. So we'll draw the Nissa. That now looks much worse. And we will... We're going to start with a Ballista for 1 and a Llanowar and pass to you. Don't really want to just play the Nissa, tick up, have it attack twice. That's not quite good enough.
Let's play another Arclight, get in for 6.
All right.
And then play an 04.
Okay.
You're at 9.
Yep.
You can go. You're turn the corner.
The corner's been turned. All right. Well, now we want to... You got how many cards?
2.
2. Okay. So now we want to try to play a little bit of defense here.
Defense. Defense.
And I think the best way to do that is just play a 4/4 reach. Your turn.
Boarded him out. Still has him when he needs him. Classic.
Don't have a glory bringer, please. Oh my God.
You would be dead.
Straight dead.
So, of course, I don't have one.
Yay.
Okay, you can go.
All right. We've stabilized. Okay. We're going to go with this. Now, let's go with a Walking Ballista for 1.
Yep.
Nissa? Ooh, played that in the wrong order.
You have 1 in hand.
Yep. Definitely played that in the wrong order.
Aether Gust the Nissa.
Okay.
I want to prevent this for as long as I can.
Yeah, we'll put that on top and we'll say go.
If we can find a Glory Bringer, we'll force both Ballistas to trade for a Phoenix.
Yep.
Find
Just to stay alive. I think you'd get that game. No! What?
Declare tax.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Exert. Target Stone Coil Serpent. yeah. I assume Corey's last card in hand doesn't do anything, so the Nissa on top is irrelevant for stopping this attack. Was this good?
How lucky. How
Can
lucky.
we get a poll in chat?
If that is indeed good.
This is good.
What are you, Wyatt Darby here? Doing your best Wyatt Darby impression, just drawing Glorybringer exactly when you need it?
The worst person. There are worse people to impersonate.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Wyatt's gas. All right, touche. Well, what do you think? We might have a little bit of time. You want to stretch this to a best 3 out of 5? Not because I lost.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it anyways, okay?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's get some questions in chat. And please, can we get some, F's for Ross top deck skills here?
F's.
Can't get lucky if you don't put yourself in the position.
That's true. That's true. No, that was nice. Glorybringer seems insane. I mean, to be fair, Glorybringer was kind of the reason why snakes went away in standard, right? So I played a Winding Constrictor deck to some success at a GP, but then Teamer Energy was just everywhere and had started with 2 Glorybringers, and I'm like, oh, this card's good. Let's go to 3, and then it's can I play 7? And then this deck just died really, really fast.
That it did.
Teamer Energy really, really shut this deck down.
So, guys,
Yes.
have we seen a lot of Collected Company in Pioneer? I don't think
We have not.
God, yeah, we didn't really see. That is one deck that I'm surprised didn't do better.
So I have a theory as to why.
Let's hear it.
So the company decks have traditionally been banned to take advantage of Reflector Mage and Spell Queller as very powerful 3-mana cards.
Yep.
Now, in the last year, there have been some really good Bant cards printed.
Yeah.
At 3 mana. But they aren't creatures.
Yeah.
Fairy Time Raveler and Oko.
Yep.
And I think, as it turns out, those are significantly better payoffs to put in your deck than Collected Company, and it's hard to fit all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to choose. Pick a land.
That said, there's also other good ways to use mana creatures. Collected Company has traditionally been played alongside mana creatures. We have Devotion and Hardened Scales, other good payoffs for that. So there's sort of attacking it from both angles. That said, I think people just have to get a little bit more creative with their company decks.
I agree.
Move out of Bant.
People are looking at a specific shell that it used to be. Company is still an insanely powerful
You know
card.
what card I want to play alongside Collected Company?
Ah.
Mayhem Devil.
Oh.
Get your Sacrifice Outlet, get your Mayhem Devil, kill him.
Kill him.
Got some Nantuko Husks. Got some, I don't know what else you want. Gildagoose is probably good with Mayhem Devil too.
It's not bad. It's not bad. What, are you going to play Witch's Oven then? I think you have to.
Yeah.
Just Collected Company and Witch's Oven as your
spells.
That seems reasonable.
Maybe Fatal Push too, because you probably have a low land count.
Yeah.
If you can play 21 lands, 27 creatures, and four maybe 3 push main, 28 creatures.
Sure.
Just to get a little bit of removal. Your pushes are really good. That's where I want to go.
I think I would rather, instead of push, even play Bone Crusher Giant. It's kind of removal that you can still hit,
Yep.
You can play Murderous Rider.
You can play Murderous Rider. You can play Catacomb Sifter in this deck.
Yeah.
That's a nice one to hit.
Sounds like you got some brewing to do.
Oh, I already have a list. I brewed this deck a month ago.
All right. Well, why isn't it here?
In his pocket. I got it right here.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it might be in a note on my phone.
I like it.
You got to get more creative with your company decks.
I agree with you. Okay, I'm going to go first. You are up 2-1, so I got the back against the wall. I need to win 2 in a row. Okay, these are Magic cards.
That's lucky. I'm looking at a handful of Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Really? Well, then your power is
do.
way over 9,000, man.
Yeah.
Wait, wrong game.
Okay, so turn 1, Blue Eyes White Dragon. That's all I know.
Okay, me too.
There are 5 pieces of Exodia. I know that too.
Yeah.
That's it.
You
And
can't
trap cards. Okay, I know 3 things.
Yeah.
You can't do Blue Eyes turn 1.
Sure.
At least not that I'm aware of.
Dan, I already told you this. You're not my real dad.
You're not my real Dan?
You're not my real dad. I can do what I want.
You are our real Dan, though.
Yes.
I am a real Dan, as far as I know.
Paid a lot of money for that procedure.
I'll keep.
Same.
Okay.
But what does Pot of Greed do?
All right, so I know I have to have the heart of the cards and look at the top 5. Oh, okay.
So you bricked.
Okay, well, I think we are going to go with the Snakes on a Plane. And take 2 and go with the Mystic. Pass to you. 18.
We'll play a tapped Steam Vents and pass.
Okay. Now, this game's looking oddly familiar to the one I won, which is a good feeling. Go. Maybe too familiar. Ouch.
You're up.
Ouch. I didn't like that. All right, we'll take 2 and get a 3/3.
So you're at 14.
Yep. Your turn. Leave that one alone.
I could play Thing in the Ice this turn, but I can't beat a land. So instead, I'm going to just chart a course.
Okay. Can't beat a land. Bad place to be.
Yeah. And then I will play a tap steam vents and pass.
Okay. We'd love to have a land. We're not lucky enough.
17.
Your turn.
Okay. Well, if you don't have a land, then I will play a Thing in the Ice.
Yep.
And then play a chart, bring it to 3,
Okay.
draw 2, and discard an Arclight Phoenix.
All right.
Pass a turn.
We don't have land, so we got pushes.
Yep.
All right. So we'll draw. Ugh, what a terrible draw. Once upon a time, right on time. All right. 4, 5. Wow. Wow. Okay, we'll take this.
Now you have a land.
Excellent hit. We do. Attack for 3.
14 all.
Your turn. Yeah, and I mean, there is some problems to playing cards like Hardened Scales because it takes up a card. You need to draw the stuff that pays off with it.
Okay. I will cruise for 2 mana so I can leave the Phoenix in here.
Okay. We be cruising.
Then I will shock to 12.
Okay.
Play a chart a course.
Okay. So one more spell brings back Phoenix.
Discard Fiery Temper and temper the Ballista.
Seems good. 3 to you.
I'll go to 9, bring
Yep.
back Phoenix and attack for 3.
All right. Yeah, I'll go to 11.
You can go.
Pretty solid turn.
How many cards do you have in your hand?
2.
I have 6.
All right. 4/4. Go.
Seems like you should have more cards.
I really should.
Not sure why you don't.
I really should have drawn more. I think it was a big misplay on my part. Should have splashed blue for Treasure Cruise. I can line it up right now. It only costs 2.
Declare tax.
Yep.
Attack for 3.
No blocks. I'm going for the win.
Brings you to 8.
Yep.
Lightning Axe the Ballista.
Well, that's going to prevent me from winning. I don't like that.
I don't like it at all.
I still think we're hitting Arclight Phoenix here. It's just likely to come back literally this turn. So we're going upstairs.
It's beginning of combat, so we're already second man.
Oh, that's true. That's true. So you would have to do that. Well, okay, let's think about this then. I can't win with another Ballista anyways. All right. We'll try to suck up some damage. 2 to that,
Okay.
2 to you.
So I'm at 7.
Yep.
You're at 8. Then we will play a Thing in the Ice, and we will chart triggering Thing and just drawing 2 cards.
Okay.
Then I will play this Steam Vents tapped and pass the turn.
All right.
All 4 Steam Vents.
Ooh, that was pretty good. All right.
See.
So we are going to ooze, eat your Phoenix.
That's pretty good. It gets 3 counters.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. That is so good. And we'll just do this now. Here you go.
I can see why this was a popular deck in the Invitational.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
That's actually insane.
Yeah,
I might be dead.
that was quite good.
Okay, I'm not dead.
Oh, no.
I legitimately thought it's still not great. Wow. Okay, so we have to play a Thing.
Okay.
Hopefully
just a block.
I will Treasure Cruise because I have 7 cards in there.
Okay.
Goes to 3. Oh, thank God. I will cast Lightning Axe on use, discarding Temper you.
That's what I was afraid of. Okay.
So you go to 5.
Yep. Lightning Axe is such a good
Found
card.
a Lightning Axe.
Yeah.
And then I'll pass the turn.
And even if I didn't Fatal Push the Thing and I just ate another creature, it would have only been 8 power and you still could have killed it there. That's what I was worried. I was like, oh, maybe I really messed up.
I've been holding these.
6,
I missed my 5th one.
I'm at 6. I got myself at
You
5.
gained a life off of Ooze.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You're right. You're right.
I'd been sitting on these and I was like, oh, I'll just kill whatever he does. Like you had played the 4/4 Ballista, so I axed that. Then you just made a 5/5 that's threatened to kill me the next turn.
Yeah.
Glorybringer wasn't going to be enough.
You got a spell?
What do you have?
If you got a spell, you got me.
Let's see.
Let's see, he says.
Let me see if I got a spell in my blue-red
Okay.
Izzet spell
Well, I
deck.
drew a land for turn,
Okay.
and I have 2 Glorybringers, but I also have an opt.
Okay. All right. All right.
I legitimately almost lost that game.
Yeah. I mean, the power of Hardened Scales just makes all my cards a little bit better, but just the power of sheer card draw from you. You just drew way more cards than I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if I was supposed to just because of Scavenging Ooze and you being on exactly 3 lands.
Yeah.
I guess you were on. Yeah, you were on. No, I thought you were on 4 lands.
What do you mean?
Didn't you have 4 mana?
Yeah, I did.
Was one of them? Could you not double activate the ooze?
I could have, but I fatal push your thing.
Oh, you fatal push
Yeah.
the thing in the ice.
But
okay.
I could have double activated Ooze, but then I was worried about
but
Charm getting my fatal push and then kind of being a blowout.
Yeah, and my thing in the ice will bounce the ooze and attack. Like
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Exactly. And if you had
Okay.
Lightning Axe and Fiery Temper, you still just aim both at Scavenging Ooze.
That makes sense. Okay,
But yeah.
but maybe I'm supposed to just run a Glorybringer into the Walking Ballista and keep the Lightning Axe because that'll trade with the ooze. Like you can't. I can just respond to 1 activation.
Yeah.
Even if you had 2 up, just to make sure I can beat the 1 ooze because that card it literally almost just stole that game when I was comically far ahead.
No kidding. Yeah, that is the one problem that blue-red has a bit of a problem with is just dealing with giant creatures, right?
Yeah.
Like red can only do so much as far as removal. Now blue does have Aether Guts to deal with these giant creatures, which is a great card.
You have
But-
Brazen Borrower in the sideboard that can help out. But yeah, sometimes you need to permanently deal with them.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons Lightning Axe is one of the better removal spells. There's plenty of ways to mitigate the downside, and it's 1 mana, 5 damage, which is just way more efficient than.
You know what I'm
other
shocked
red
that deck
removal.
doesn't play?
What?
Entrancing Melody. Card seems great. Take a Voracious Hydra for 4 mana.
Nice 15-16.
Yeah,
Yoink.
yeah. And it's not like green decks bringing Veil against you. Maybe if they saw Melody, sure, but you're not bringing in Veil against these red removal based decks. I mean, I will.
You're not bringing in Veil against anybody, buddy.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. I tricked myself. Cards are getting banned so much. I don't even know what's left, what's right. Was this TGI Fridays that they banned Veil, or was it Applebee's? I just cannot keep it straight.
It's always the Rent and Applebee's.
Okay,
As long as Michael Majors is working there, it's Applebee's.
Yeah,
Club
that's
Bees.
true. Yeah, Club
Club
Bees.
Bees.
Oh man.
Hey,
Oh.
so maybe we've been underrating the Izzet Phoenix deck.
Maybe we have. Yeah.
Decks that aren't as good at killing Thing in the Ice. Thing was
Mhm.
very good in all those matchup games. You killing it was really important whenever you did. And with some effective sideboard cards, like my Glorybringers were really good. And my Aether Gusts were very good.
Yeah.
It helps out a lot. So, and I was able to cast Treasure Cruise. Like you try hard for it and you're able to cast it.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Your deck's a lot better at it though. With those Venture Deepers, they looked great.
Yeah.
Venture Deeper looked great.
Yeah, the 0-4 body even gave me a shot at sealing that second pre-board game. So I'm maybe I've been a little bit too hasty with this deck.
Yeah, but I mean,
We're
I
good
do
there.
think things that deck is going to have a lot of polarizing matchups. Like against green creatures, where your Wild Slashes are good, excellent. That's the matchups you want. But like, I don't know, against Mono Black, where they have Fatal Push, they have Thoughtseize to stop your timely Treasure Cruise.
You do have a good
Things get a
sideboard
lot
card against
worse.
them and Anger of the Gods.
Yeah,
That's a nice one. But yeah,
vehicles are still pretty good against the deck.
yeah, you've probably got to grind against them with like your Planeswalkers and try to play a control game because they're just so good at stopping Thing. But I could see that working. I agree that matchup's probably not great. I bet game 1 is definitely Mono Black's favor. I could see you sideboarding in a way that gets it close. But it seems like it's pretty good against the green decks, and that's a good place to be.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then against the field, I would say against like Bantfield, who they still have Teferi and Supreme Verdict to stop your things.
But against that Golgari field, you're losing.
Yeah, like they have good removal.
Yeah. Tracker, card advantage. You can't beat a Field of the Dead ever. So like I think that deck is insanely powerful and the ceiling is way up there, but it will have polarizing matchups. And if you get paired against the wrong subset of decks, the deck's going to feel really bad.
Yeah.
But if you play your right matchups and you know how to play the deck well, I think we got to look at this deck. I think it looked very good right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seems like it looks good against the green decks, which were the most popular decks last weekend.
Has to have been.
Will continue to be popular in the coming weeks.
Yep.
And
depending on the service that runs Applebee's.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah.
So and the secret keepers looked good. So maybe we got to lean more into that card to make the delve cards better.
And is that just making you just super excited? I know Arclight Phoenix and Thing in the Ice are your bread and butter.
I'm pretty into the mono black deck.
Yeah.
Like I was a huge Smuggler's Copter fan.
Yeah, me too.
And so like I have a lot of cards. There are a lot of cards in Pioneer that I have strong affection towards.
Yeah. Have you seen your profile picture on Twitter though? I mean,
yeah,
but it's on an Arclight Phoenix.
It's not the same without Manamorphose and Faithless Looting.
Yeah.
Like it's just not the same.
Okay.
Like my thing in the Ice here doesn't transform until turn 4 at the earliest.
Yeah.
I was transforming at turn 3 regularly.
Yeah.
So it's just not the same.
Okay.
When you've played the powered up version, playing the powered down version doesn't feel great.
Doesn't do it for you.
Whereas compared to the previous Copter decks, we have powered up versions.
Yeah.
Compared to the previous Ensoul deck,
so
we have powered up versions.
Are you saying Secret Keeper is not as good as Faithless Looting?
I am saying that.
And you're saying Izzet Charm is not as good as Metamorphose?
I am saying that.
All right. That all adds up.
You do get to play Treasure Cruise, so there is that.
That is true.
So they have their one thing they can hang their hat on.
Sure.
Okay, so we got one more match here.
Yes.
We're going to be taking another 5-minute break, right, Dan?
Yes.
And we're playing some fun ones. I'm going to be playing Raja Suleiman's 16th place list. This is Sultai midrange.
Yes.
A deck that we saw do well very early in the format and then really fade to obscurity. His list is a little bit different. There's 4 copies of Glint Sleeve Siphoner, which is a card I kind of like.
It's one of my favorite cards of all time.
And we'll see how it does. We got a little bit of an energy shell.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how that card does. I've seen it in play a few times, and it's looked pretty good.
Yeah.
It does sort of die easily, but you got, Thoughtseize into Glint Sleeve is going to be a pretty good curve, especially if you're second lane.
Not Thoughtseize into Glint Sleeve. You're missing a key component. It is Thoughtseize into Aether Hub into Glint Sleeve, and then draw. That's just, chef's keys.
What are you closing?
I'm going to be playing Simic Aggro, just really fast, aggressive, 4 power or higher creatures mixed with Stubborn Denial to really put you on the back foot like that. A pretty simple deck, but very powerful.
Yeah, definitely a good one. Took second place in a recent online PTQ, and this is a 7-1 list from the Invitational, so it did well last weekend too. So that's going to be what we're going to be finishing up with. We're going to be playing for the marbles. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere.